Yo, 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 what's up? Welcome to another episode of Around the Reef. We're up to episode 14. Man, I'm gonna be so excited when we get to 50 and then 100. Oh, it's gonna be a special episode. So I'm dressed in my hockey gear because I'm going to the Kings game tonight. I think we're playing the Pittsburgh Penguins, led by Sid the Kid, Sidney Crosby. So I'll get into that. I got some stuff I want to get off my chest. It's I think November 9th. So how cool is that? November 9th. All right. So I was thinking the other day that like everybody knows what cancel culture is. You know what cancel culture is. It's like you hear somebody say something online usually that you don't like or you don't agree with, and you try to get them fired, I guess. And it's a thing. I think it had its peak, honestly, a couple of years ago, kind of like because of Trump, right? I mean, everybody wanted to cancel him, and it was also like there was like the Me Too movement, and I'm not trying to like blend the two together because they're different, but it's also like people did bad stuff, so we kind of quote unquote canceled them. And I agree. Like some people deserve to get canceled, definitely. Like there's some people that are just like I don't know. They just like say too many just patently false things, or they're just like true pieces of shit, and they don't deserve to have their voice out there. You know, that's pretty. It's rare. It's not that often, but like I think like everybody remembers like Harvey Weinstein. Remember that? Remember that dude? He was like this big fat guy that was like a Hollywood producer, and he was like hooking up with all these actresses, and that was the way they got in like half the movies in Hollywood is because he was just abusing his power. So that guy's an asshole, and he should get canceled, or he should like get all the bad stuff thrown his way. And like Bill Cosby, remember that guy? No, I used to I like the Cosby Show for sure, but I mean, no, everybody knows what happened there. So look, those guys deserve to be canceled. But I think too often there's people, and it's not even just celebrities, it's everybody. Like anybody could get canceled hypothetically, and it's just like this fear that lurks out there, and I think it holds so many people back from like posting stuff online or speaking their mind, even if it goes against the grain. It's real easy to get caught up in the woke mob, or just go along with the mob, or go with the public. But when you know that something is wrong, you should feel like you can stand up and speak your mind without having your career like ripped from you, basically. And I say it all the time. People are just like afraid of cancel culture. So I would just like, I guess, recommend people to, stick to your guns. I'm not saying you can say stupid shit, but like, I mean, if like you didn't say anything wrong, or like people are taking it wrong, you have nothing to fear. And I just wouldn't be afraid of the people that you think control you. Nobody controls you. We're all humans. Nobody's perfect out here. So really just trying to like kill off cancel culture. And it's almost like it's like a pendulum that swings like one way. Like it kind of like swung, like people love like politically correctness. That used to be in vogue, right? And then it kind of swung the other way with like Trump. Trump kind of like kicked that way out of line. Like he was not politically correct, right? And people liked it. They found it refreshing. And then, I think people take it too far, and now it's like coming back. And so it'll just keep going back and forth. I think like people want to hear like off the cuff stuff, like podcasts. They're kind of like alternate media sort of thing. But and like I said, it doesn't give you a free reign to just say crazy shit. But you shouldn't be afraid of what other people think. If you truly believe what you say, then you have nothing to worry about, you know. But it's really interesting. A lot of people, I think, live in fear of cancel culture. Obviously, celebrities do, but regular people do all the time. And it's bullshit. Like, you know, if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have anything to fear. So I would encourage everybody to, you know, don't let cancel culture hold you back in life. And also with cancel culture, it's like people like hate on anybody that like puts out content. And you have a right. Look, if you don't want to watch any sort of like entertainment, you don't have to watch. Like entertainment is totally elective. And I don't know, I guess just don't be afraid of like the player haters, or don't be a player hater. Start with yourself. Don't be a player hater, and then don't listen to the naysayers, I guess. All right. Well, moving on from that. So I'm in my hockey gear because I'm going to the Kings game tonight. We're playing the Pittsburgh Penguins. My bad. You know, the Kings are doing pretty good. We're 8-2 right now, I think. 8-2 and I don't know, some ties, I guess. But that's awesome. You know, I'm excited to see Sidney Crosby. I mean, Sidney Crosby is he's one of the most famous hockey players of all time. I think, honestly, I don't know who's the greatest hockey player. I mean, you got to go Wayne Gretzky, number one, greatest hockey player. But Sidney Crosby has got to be like pretty close. I mean, he's certainly one of the most famous hockey players. So I've never seen him play. I'm excited to watch him. I'm just going to be watching him the whole game pretty much. But hockey's fun, you know. It's a very rowdy, rambunctious group. I mean, when a goal is scored, everybody freaks out. You know, it's fun. It's fun stuff. I got my Kopitar jersey on. If you're wondering what jersey I'm wearing, he's the best. So last night there was a Republican debate, and I'm just going to be completely straight up. I didn't watch the debate. I've tried watching the first two. I watched a little bit of, but they kind of suck, and Trump isn't there, so it's like kind of weird. Like the leader is not there, so he's kind of the elephant in the room. But I don't even know if is Trump still running. Like you would think he would go to like some of the debates. You would think like he would go to like one, but I don't know. Like, is he really gonna get thrown in jail? I don't know. I don't know. They're really coming after him hard. But I saw that Trump was like up in the polls. I guess like him head to head with Biden is like he's actually like kind of got a sizable lead. Like it's not even. I think it was like 49-44. So Trump is like way ahead, which is interesting. I get most of my political insight on these Republican debates from the PBD Valuetainment podcast. It's they a PBD man. He's like super into politics. So they were saying like Vivek he won the debate. That's cool. He's all right. I don't know. He's kind of crazy, but I mean, he's definitely seems talented. And I do kind of think like our government is, I don't want to say too big, but I mean, I just think it's interesting that when a new CEO of like a tech company takes over, the first thing they do is like slash like half the jobs because they're like, you know, there's way too many jobs. It's way too bloated. But that never happens to our government. You know, no one ever comes in and slashes half the government jobs because we apparently need those. But do we? You know, I don't know. I just think like the government does get too big, and even like we want an efficient government. We don't want there to be like an excess of like government waste out there, like unnecessary jobs. So, but we need somebody to come in and kind of like trim the fat a little bit. And I think Vivek wants to do that, but you know, it's popular, but it's also unpopular with a lot of people. So I don't know. Politics is a dirty business. It's a dirty business. You really gotta you really gotta like what I was saying earlier about not listening to the naysayers. You really gotta have like strong convictions and not give a fuck what anybody says about you if you want to get into politics, because you just know half the people are just gonna hate you just for existing. But yeah, no. Who else is in it? DeSantis, he's still in. Nikki Haley, uh, Tim Scott. PBD hates Tim Scott. He just calls him boring all the time. Is there anybody else? Oh, Chris Christie, and then Trump. Is Trump really like? I'm serious. Is Trump gonna get thrown in prison, and he could still run for president theoretically, and he might win from prison? It's kind of gangster. Um, and then of course on the Democrat side, you got Sleepy Joe. I got a take on Sleepy Joe. I think I've said this for a while now, a couple months, but I have a prediction. You heard it here first on Around the Reef. I think Biden is gonna. I think Thanksgiving he's gonna make an announcement that he's not running. That's my bold prediction. I don't think Biden is gonna seek a second term. I don't think he politically was able to say it until Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving he's gonna say I'm not gonna seek a second term. He's just too old, and it's not that he couldn't like do the job of president, but it's just like the campaign is like so long, and it's so like Hollywood driven. Like you gotta look good on camera. You have to you have to really have energy. You have to travel a lot. So on that note, it's like it's just hard for any person that's 80 years old to do. And Trump, honestly, is just like a cockroach that won't die. The shittier food he eats, the stronger he grows. So that doesn't apply to him. He's a psycho. But Biden's like a normal person. I mean, once you get to a certain age, it's like, don't you kind of just like, you know, why would you want to do that job? And it just reminds me of all these other politicians that I feel like just they hang on too long. Like just pass the baton to the next guy. And I'm just one of those people that thinks he's a little old. I mean, he can run and he might run, and ultimately the people will decide. Some people don't give a shit how old he is, but um, I don't know. I think a lot of Democrats could probably beat Trump, but I don't know if Biden could again. You have to remember last time the election rolled around, this is a completely different country. We were in the middle of COVID at the time. I mean, that's a huge game changer. I know a lot of people that say that Trump wouldn't have won last time, or I'm sorry, Biden would not have won had COVID never happened. So, I mean, now that that's not in the picture, and frankly, like, I don't think the world is in that great a shape right now with all the wars and stuff and inflation. Biden is, I think he's done a good job as president, but I'm just trying to say, like, I don't know if he can run again and be that charismatic leader that the people want. So, yeah, we'll see. You heard it here first, though. I think he's not running. I think Gavin Newsom is going to be the nominee on the Democratic ticket, and then you also got RFK. I've been a big RFK guy. I like what RFK has to say. I think he's good. It depends. Kind of obviously, people want to talk about the vaccines when they talk about RFK, but um, I think vaccines are a net positive. I think they do help, although there's definitely some negative aspects that come with vaccines. But that's not all RFK is about, by the way. Like he talks about a bunch of other stuff other than vaccines, but I think RFK would be a good leader. I do think he's like he would be a good choice, I think. But I don't know if you want to listen to me. I thought Mike Bloomberg was going to win. I voted for Bloomberg in the primary last year. I mean, Mike Bloomberg, baby. I was like, yo, if the Republicans are going to nominate a billionaire, we're going to raise you a billionaire. So I went with Bloomberg, but he didn't get that far. I was about the only guy that voted for Bloomberg. Um, so okay, one last thing I want to talk about. I think you know, I think like having confidence in life is important, especially from a guy like me. Like I have not always had a lot of confidence. When I was younger, I mentioned a couple episodes ago, I was kind of a shy kid. I still am. I still am kind of shy. Um, but the more I live, the more I realize like you got to have some confidence in life. People want to be around people that have confidence, and I think more people like you probably lack confidence more often than you have too much confidence. There's really not many people that have too much confidence in life, if that makes any sense. Like if you're wondering, do I have a lot of confidence or do I not have any confidence? You probably don't have enough. It's like vitamins. You don't have enough vitamins, you know. So I don't know, like try to get some swag, get some confidence going. Get some belief in yourself. And I would say like fake it till you make it. Just tell yourself to be confident and have confidence and walk around with a little bit of a swagger. I don't think enough people do that. It's something I'm trying to work on, and I'm sure other people probably could benefit from that too. Like, have some confidence. So, yeah, I think we wrap this thing up. But you were listening to Around the Reef, episode 14, and thank you guys. Thank you. Talk to you later.
Under the sea, under the sea. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me.